and welcome to KLMZ News. I'm Zach Smith.
And I'm Laura Muzz.
And we will be reporting the news for you today on our first broadcast ever.
Well, just in, CNN's longstanding advocacy anchor Lou Dobbs stepped down from his position with the network last night. In his final broadcast, 64-year-old Dobbs said that he wants to go beyond the role of a television journalist to conquer the problems our country is facing. In recent years, the anchor has been known for his strong campaign against immigration and his program, Lou Dobbs Tonight, where he has been known to talk about his strong and controversial opinions. Dobbs has been part of CNN since he helped launch the network back in 1980 and will be missed.
German soccer star Robert Enke committed suicide this week by jumping in front of a train. Enke played goalkeeper for the German national soccer team and was expected to be starting goalkeeper for the 2010 World Cup. Enke was said to have been battling depression for the past 6 years, but kept it secret from the public. Many were shocked by the news of his death. Teammates and fans gathered outside Hanover Stadium to lay flowers and light candles.
Charges have recently been dropped on a Tennessee native who allegedly snatched his 2 children from his ex-wife, who was living in Japan. After the divorce, it was agreed that the couple would remain in the United States for the sake of their children. However, Nakori Savoy did not honor that agreement. Savoy's ex-wife took her children to Tokyo the night before they were to begin school this August, where the police cannot arrest her. However, authorities saw Christopher Savoy's attempt to get his children back as clearly an act of desperation, and considered the circumstances, he's been released from custody.
The talks are finally over, and it seems that Shanghai will be building a Walt Disney theme park. Disney CEO Robert Iger said in a statement, "China is one of the most dynamic and exciting, important countries in the world, and this approval marks a very significant milestone for the Walt Disney Company." The cost of the park is said to be estimated around $3.6 billion, and the exact construction date is still pending.
Wow, that sounds like fun, Zach. We should check it out.
Yeah, I already booked my flight.
Oh, that's interesting. One thing is clear, country music sensation Taylor Swift is here to stay. The 19-year-old beat out 4 very accomplished contenders in the fight for Entertainer of the Year last night at the Country Music Awards. Swift went on to win Best Vocalist as well as Best Album of the Year for her Fearless. The pop star made sure to thank the crowd for not running upstage, giving her 3 opportunities to make acceptance speeches uninterrupted by Kanye West.
In Mogadishu, Somalia, pirates are demanding $3 million after hijacking a ship with 18 crew members who are now being held hostage. The ship was carrying 3 tons of business materials, and suspicions started to rise after the ship didn't arrive at its estimated November 7th arrival time. This is the 11th ship Somali pirates are holding, with more than 200 people being held hostage. The 1,880-mile Somalian coast has no laws, so it provides a great sanctuary for pirates to interrupt one of the busiest trading routes.
This past spring, the Fargo Market area experienced major flooding, so not many would think to watch for flooding this fall. Right now, the Red River is at 22 feet and the flood stage is 18. The river will continue to rise, but the National Weather Service only suggests minor flooding along the river. Last October, the Red River hit 25 feet and then in the spring rose to a maximum of 41. The city expects to watch river levels in the spring, but this fall, heavy rains have caused roads and parks in the FM area to close. During the past 24 hours, Lindenwood Park has been closed because it has fallen underwater. The red has not yet hit 24 feet since November of 2004. Let's hope this will be our wettest part of the year and we can have a dry and quiet spring. Alrighty, speaking of rains and flooding, let's move into our local forecast. Today in Fargo, it is currently 53 degrees, overcast, and a slight chance of rain this afternoon and evening. As you can see on our radar here, we have a slight precipitation moving in from the south end of the valley. On our next slide up here, we have a low front moving in from the south as well, causing rain tonight and or tomorrow. And temperatures, we have 53 currently in Fargo. In Maya, it is 46, low of 42 in Bismarck, a little chilly. Up in Crookston, we have 52 degrees, and down into Wapaton, it's 52 degrees. Our 7-day outlook for the week. Today we have a low of 40 this evening. Tomorrow we have a 50% chance of rain with a high of 44 and a low of 37. Saturday looks to be a bit overcast with a high of 41 and a low of 29. On Sunday, looks to be a little more sunny, 45 degrees for a high, Moving on to next week, Monday through Wednesday, it looks absolutely gorgeous and sunny outside with highs between 49 to 55 degrees.
Thanks for that forecast, Callista. In other news, paramedics are saying that a dive into a pool saved a burned teen's life. Michael Brewer, 15, is expected to survive the burns he received when he was ambushed by 5 friends on October 12th in Deerfield Beach, Florida, who allegedly poured rubbing alcohol all over his body and set the 15-year-old on fire. Firefighter paramedic Bobby Goss called the 911 call the worst of his 4 years. A series of arguments surrounding a video game resulted in 15-year-old Matthew Bent leading a retaliation against Brewer, his longtime friend. Although Brewer is now breathing without a ventilator and his outlook for survival is looking brighter, doctors are saying that the teen's retaliation almost cost Brewer his life.
During the fall season, students at North Dakota State University have filled the seats at Dakota Field, or more recently, the Fargo Dome, to view their beloved football team in action. The NDSU football squad has a long-standing tradition of football boasting over a century of gameplay. A lesser-known fall sport has not had the opportunity of such a following. Matthew Motley reports.
Rugby football is the sport's official name, but most refer to it as simply rugby. It began play over 40 years before the first American football match. It has since laced its way into numerous cultures worldwide. Areas of greatest support are Australia, South Africa, and New Zealand. The gameplay is similar to that of football, but in some respects, very different.
You can't pass the ball forwards. You always have to pass it laterally or behind you. So one of the things I think is really cool about rugby is that everybody is a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, kicker, punter. Every one rugby player is like an entire football team.
Strange words like scrums, rucks, and mauls have entered these die-hard athletes' vocabularies. As they trample the pitch in their boots for 80 minutes every weekend, they hope to score more tries than their opponents. The game is governed by a referee, or in rugby lingo, a sir, and he or she will hand out pretty yellow cards for minor infractions and red cards for major infractions of the rugby laws. Players quickly learn to respect him or her, and also their squad, past, present, and future.
The NDSU Lost Boys resume practices early next year in hopes of building a tough and skilled squad for the upcoming spring season. If you would like more information, please contact Corey Schlack at corey.schlack@ndsu.edu. In other news, the NDSU men and women's basketball teams won their recent exhibition games. Both teams routed their opponents 82-62 and 79-49 respectively. In London, United Airlines pilot Erwin Vermont Washington has been charged with having too much alcohol in his system before taking off. 51-year-old Washington failed the breathalyzer test and was later arrested. This is the third pilot in 13 months to be arrested for being over the alcohol limit. In South Africa, a new species of dinosaur was discovered. The new dinosaur was a 23-foot herbivore with small head and large chest. The dinosaur was said to have roamed the earth 200 million years ago. Scientists are saying this discovery could be a missing evolutionary link. Australian paleontologist Adam Yates commented on this discovery. This species, no one has seen before, and one that has been very significant position in the family tree of dinosaurs. Scientists are reconstructing the skeleton.
And that's all, guys. Thanks for watching KLMZ News.
Have a good night.
See you next time.